So, welcome to the Professors. We ain't crazy. We're licensed.
We're licensed.
And crazy.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Mark Brana, licensed clinical professional counselor, licensed clinical alcohol and drug counselor, approved clinical supervisor, nationally certified counselor, certified EMDR therapist.
Get 'em.
Adjunct faculty.
What else?
Drop your shit.
Goddamn. That puts me on the spot.
See?
Yeah.
See?
It's hard to do.
See?
Business manager extraordinaire
Yeah.
out here. I'll get you. I got you.
1/3 owner of SEM Productions.
There you go. There you go.
1/3 partnership of the Professors. We ain't crazy. We're licensed.
Come on.
And all around, not a bad dude.
Oh man, I like that ending. Not a bad dude. Get it, Mark.
Come on.
My name is Casey Casillas Nichols.
Get on the mic.
LCPC, LCADC, licensed supervisor, adjunct professor, HBIC. I change people's lives. Period.
Boom.
That's it?
That's it. I didn't forget anything.
Yes, you did.
Which one did I forget?
SCM Productions,
Oh.
909 and the 313. You want to come here and play today?
Yep.
Yep.
1/3 owner.
Come on.
SCM Productions.
Come on.
1/3.
In the
One half of the 1/2 star of the 909-313 podcast. And there we go.
1/3 of the Professors.
Oh, 1/3 of professors too. Duh.
Damn.
Goddamn, didn't even plug the show you on.
The seat you on today.
Man, I really can't. I've been awake for like 45 minutes and I drove 30 of it. So
It's Shamika Green, the Tesla Queen.
Queen of Detroit.
From Detroit. Oh, Queen of Detroit. Come on, because y'all gave me that. Licensed marriage and family therapist, trauma specialist, grief specialist, founder of Emma's House, Inc. Oh, come on. Wait a second. International best-selling author. Let's not forget that. Executive producer, part of this fucking trio of the Professors.
whoop, whoop.
Half of the dynamic duo of the 909 and the 3 motherfucking 13. Yes. Call me Lil Pop today.
Oh, shit.
All right.
All right, we ready.
Holly, if you hear me.
I think Shamika started drinking coffee in the morning.
I'm with it.
It's
Yeah.
all water. I'll tell you, when I have water, I'm on some other shit. It's crazy.
It's called health.
Right.
So,
pH.
Come on, balance.
Come on, balance.
strong enough for man, pH balance for a woman.
Good morning.
So this week we are talking about mindset change, and this was a topic that came from some of our listeners and everything. And I'm curious, when you guys look at this, and when we were talking about this, what were some of the things that came to mind for you guys?
Man, why you gonna look at me?
I'm listening.
You the boss.
Yeah, I'll look straight
This
ahead.
is the group project. No. I was so excited because, yes, it came from a listener, so I feel like it's important. But then also I feel like that's the theme, not only of my life, but like my clients. Like everything has to do with mindset lately. And then it's 2024, so it's like, what better way to kick off the year but talking about mindset change? You know? So, yeah I'm excited.
Okay.
Your girl's here. I'm ready.
Yeah, she's been amped up to get in here.
Yeah. I did not have the same outlook on mindset change.
Why?
Did not, because I just didn't think about it. I just didn't think about it until maybe yesterday when I was at work and all the new stuff that I'm doing. And it just played right on into that of like I worked, I guess a double. I went in like at 5, left at 2:30, went back again at like 10:45, got off at 4:30 in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
So girls out here,
Okay.
doing it, but then I have to put eyes to see if some folks have some mindset change in mind. So
It's interesting that you brought that up, because that kind of goes back to when we were talking about what it takes to be successful and what was the episode? The cost of being a boss,
Yep.
or whatever, where we talk about, or even the fear of success, where we talked about, if you're going to do something, it's got to be something you're willing to put that kind of work in. And people don't seem to realize that, if you start a business, you're going to be working twice as hard.
Not making any money.
Yeah, not
first.
making any money as you would if you worked for somebody else. But you've got to be willing to put that type of work in, and people don't see that behind the scenes.
Right.
And just hearing you talk about that, because I'm thinking about like with my typical day starts pretty early. And then
No, you said that.
I
It's
don't
crazy.
typically get home till about 7 p.m. on any given night. And that's a full day of clients, full day of doing, like teaching stuff that I got to do. And just, because I do so many different jobs, just even with my practice, that it's a long day.
Yeah.
And you have to change your mindset regarding even that, because, when I was working for somebody else, I'll do my 8 and skate,
Yeah.
Boy.
Oh. Damn.
That's what I'm dealing with now.
yeah, but I'll do my job. I'll show up. I will do a goddamn good job while I'm there.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't have anything else in this race except that job. And so
done.
my mindset was just on doing the best while I'm there. But then after that ain't me.
All right.
Yeah.
Deuces. You was
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about mindset change too, though, I was thinking about, like, have you ever had a situation where somebody was kind of telling you something like you can't do or you shouldn't do? And I know in previous episodes we talked about like when you were in school and you like, fuck that, like I'm going to get my degree, stuff like that. But I think that's the foundation of when you start thinking about mindset, especially now that I'm talking about it with clients. It's like, where did that come from? And so have you ever been told some shit and you were like, nah, like that ain't right. Like, fuck that. Like somebody really trying to stop you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was like, it was so passive aggressive that it was like packaged in a way where it was, you know what I mean? It was like really
some silent hate.
Yeah, like trying to decipher like what's really real and what's not.
Right.
That's what it wasn't like full
Damn, I
blown
didn't
like
think about that.
Yeah.
The silent.
it was never full blown like you can't do this. It was like, well, something pretty that Casey wants to hear or see, and then
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, and
Okay.
I think sometimes people behave that way. And while it's not necessarily always coming from a malicious place, it's coming from a fearful place on them.
Yes. Yes.
And then they project that outward.
Yes, Mark.
And, because, I mean, if you're going to do something, and one of the things, and just so everybody is aware, I've been going back listening to old episodes and everything. One of the things Shamika had said in one of the previous episodes was doing things in silence. And doing your stuff and just doing it without telling anybody, because you avoid some of that. Because people will, people will.
Right.
Even if you don't ask for it, they will give you the opinion.
Oh my God.
And
the ninja.
Yeah.
that affects your mindset going in. If it's coming from somebody, even if it's not meant maliciously, and it's coming from a place of fear, it can change your mindset when you're going in to do something to really demotivate you rather than keep you going. And I think it's important, because people are going to say some shit.
The projection, like, I don't know, I'm like ready to jump out my seat, because that's a lot of what's been happening to me lately, of fear-based talk on other people's end, not my end, other people.
Speak on, sister.
Yeah, so it's almost even like I was thinking about the first time when I was married and I was leaving the marriage, and we know it was tumultuous, right? It was very bad. And I remember people were like, you can't leave, you can't do that. Like, you have 4 kids. Like, who's gonna want to date you? Like, with 4 kids and this and that. And it was crazy, right? Because then now I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
irrelevant.
so irrelevant.
Not
only that, I was like a walking billboard for my product. Like, if I have 4 kids, that means this is good.
Can you come get your girl, please? Somebody out there, come get your Tesla
Mindset
queen
change.
right now.
She's not wrong.
Perspective. Thank
There's
you.
somebody going, well, I know she's good for at least 4 times.
You ain't got to pull out.
Spoonie, you hear that?
Just saying, it's grade A. But back to what I was saying.
We forgot what it was.
There's the left.
No, there's the left. Sharp with a back bend.
Yeah.
No, but it's other people's fears. It's really not yours. You know, they're always like, you can't do this, don't do this, or this is gonna happen. And I've learned that lately, and now I've been like, shut the fuck up. Like, no. I just need you to.
Yes. But I think that's more your confidence and not allowing it to affect you, because I know know exactly how you feel with certain shit. Where people are like, well, I probably wouldn't play it that way. And I'm like, nah, I'm about to jump both feet in.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not afraid of this.
That unsolicited advice. Like,
Yeah.
too. Like bitch, I didn't ask you.
Yeah. Go ahead and have a seat. Several. But it totally is that. And I think sometimes I look, when you were talking about how people, what you were just saying, I'm not going to regurgitate it because I don't remember, but I think that it changes my perspective of the person too. And I hate when that happens, because then if I
do it.
Yeah. And it's sad because like it could be fear-based, or it could just be somebody trying to come for my seat, whatever it is, right?
Right.
But regardless of what it is, it makes me like see you differently.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole nother, like, it's not just like.
Is it that you see them differently because you know this person doesn't have your back the way you need them to?
Or how I thought they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And then there goes a boundary. And it's not like I'm trying to back up and,
Yeah.
But I see how you move.
Damn, so you
don't
can't
need
unsee it.
No,
No.
it's super
I didn't
difficult
think about
for me.
that.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
like
fuck.
some people will say things, out of anger, out of, they're upset, whatever,
Right.
but you said it.
Yeah.
And regardless if you apologize for it or not, you said it, it came out of your mouth. Now where are we at? It's just what it
You
is.
see them differently.
Yeah. And I can't,
Damn.
I mean, that goes for like
Yeah.
coworkers, family,
Friends.
all
Yeah.
that shit. Like I just,
Yeah.
it happens. Like even then I want to say like, well, maybe it happens once, it's one thing, but no, like you're going to keep proving to me that you're that person.
So when there are people, and I think we're all going to have these people in our lives that, they're there, they'll say, I got your back or whatever. And then anytime you're continually doing that stuff, their fear kicks in, and then they're clearly not having your back because they're out there, and you see them so much differently that it's hard to keep that same relationship with them.
Yeah.
Because if I'm doing something, they're not supporting.
And here's the thing, even if they're going through some shit, right?
Right.
They may be going
Right.
through all kinds of stuff. And and I know that. But listen, we all go through all kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
but you don't see
Listen.
like nasty shit coming out of my mouth about somebody I said I
Right.
was cool with or I
Right.
had their back.
Right.
That wouldn't be happening.
That's
Yeah.
character shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn,
Yeah.
you just dropped one.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
saying, yeah.
So I look at a lot of mindset change as a big part of what we do as therapists, and to some degree,
Yes.
what we do as professors too, because our job, while we are there in the academic setting to teach whatever material we are also there to help the students start embracing this idea that change is necessary for growth. And in preparing for today, mindset change is really about embracing the need for change and really getting on this page that everything that comes once you start making that change is not, it all serves a purpose. It's all a lesson. It's all about growth, and you need to embrace that. Otherwise you're going to be stuck where you are.
Yeah.
And I'm curious how you guys facilitate that, with your practice or with your students or whatever.
For me, the thing is always getting to the root of like how you got there, again, how you started. And so for me, I attack it from a place of fighting fear. I feel like fear is at the foundation of a lot of shit, of why people are afraid to change, afraid to do things differently, because it's fear of rejection, fear that it might not work out, all of these things. And so for me, I kind of challenge the thinking of, again, like, who told you that? where did that come from? And then how can you move forward? Because you could get comfortable. You get comfortable and then you don't want to change because you think this is as good as it gets or this is just what it is. Not knowing that on the other side of fear is something greater if you fight that shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Agreed. Yeah. I think I don't come at it from that perspective. I think that's really, really good. Mine's almost very surfacey where I come from a spot of like, what makes you feel most comfortable? Like what makes you feel most authentically you? Like what kind of space does that look like? You know what I mean? And half the time it's not anything that they're portraying in real life.
Right.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it's like, well, how'd you get there?
Yeah.
Like, why did you settle for that? When you're saying
We all
you
think-
like pink lemonade, but you're drinking
Right.
the regular yellow one.
right.
Like, what's good?
The tang.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The tank. Boy. But
Astronauts drinking.
but you know what I mean? And it's
Right.
once people want, and that's for students, for staff, for clients, that's how I go about it. It's just like, what's the space of authenticity that makes you just feel like acceptance and free?
Yeah.
And then take that
Right.
and then go. And then like counter it with everything that you thought it needed to be. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that you brought up authenticity, because I think that's very important. Because a lot of people that are on this journey of change and mindset change and everything, it is about finding who you are authentically. And the reality is, we really usually don't know who we are authentically, and to facilitate that, to help somebody start finding the directions, about what they like and who they are authentically, is a big part of what we do as therapists, and that's that humanistic Carl Rogers, ascent into health of being, finding who you are authentically through the myriad of things that we've experienced growing up and everything. And finding that authentic you is a challenge, and you have to be willing to change as things come up to really find out who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Or
hard.
what you're made of.
Yeah.
Like what's your
Yeah. Well, and
that's
what's
a big
your
part of it.
Yeah, your foundational
Right.
core. Like who are you?
Yeah.
And I hate to say like morally, but really morally. Like where do you stand
Well,
on
I think
what's
in
right, what's
everything.
wrong? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in your morality, in your, in your, human side, in your spiritual side, all of that shit.
All of
and
that.
regardless of what you believe, who you pray to, whatever.
Right.
Finding that authenticity that is you in that, and it's a journey, and it's a very difficult journey to make.
But even like when I'm saying morality, it's more like on the therapist side
Right.
and of like what's ethically acceptable.
Right.
Of how to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talking to clients
Okay.
or talking to staff and things
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's, yeah.
But
I just want to
on both ends, though.
Yeah.
But isn't that dope that you have 3 therapists here, though, that have different perspectives
Right.
on
And it's-
mindset change, but the route is still the same.
Exactly.
The destination
is still
is
the
still
same.
the
Still the
same.
same.
Doesn't
Yep.
matter the route,
Yeah.
as long as you get there.
And I do think it's a big part of what we do in academia too, because a lot of these kids coming in the undergrad program, they're fresh out of high school, they're fresh out of whatever indoctrination they've grown up with, good or bad. And college, while it is about the classes, it's about the ability to grow in how you look at things, what you're exposed to. And by fostering this kind of mindset is what helps them persevere, become successful, and all those things. And, I know if a student has all 3 of us for different classes, they see 3 very different approaches.
Which does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many
Yeah.
times.
Numerous
Absolutely,
times.
yeah.
Numerous times.
But the goal is the same at the end of the day, to
Right.
get people thinking, differently and reaching more of that authentic self for them versus just being a clone of Shamika or Casey or myself or anything like that. It's finding you,
Right.
And
pull what you need
yeah.
from whoever.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
Yep.
Take what fits, and whatever doesn't isn't you.
Right.
And hopefully it's all like the good shit, not the
Right.
oh, I want to be like Mark because I want people to call me doctor type shit. You know what I mean?
Well, if you're good, so if anybody's going that route, let me just stop you right now. Nobody's going to call you doctor unless there's something in it for them. My students don't call me Dr. Braun unless some shit's about to come and they need a favor or something where it's like,
hey, what up, Mark?
Dr. Braun, I'm so sorry.
I get Dr. Casillas and I'm like,
on your
where'd
name.
this come from?
I know. I've had that before.
No, thank
But ain't nobody else walking around going, doctor.
Right.
Hey.
Yeah.
I wear the Scarlet Letter.
Get your jacket.
No, with the D. I can't say that. I can't say that. Nope. I must stop right when I heard it.
So have either of you ever read the book, The Four Agreements?
No.
I just read it for the third time this week.
Okay. Good. No, and that's
crazy.
no, that's a book. I've read it a few times. I have my clients. I have my clients read it a lot of the times especially when they need to grow their mindset and grow foster the change, because the premise of the book is this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
The Four Agreements. For those of you that look for it, it's by Don Miguel Ruiz. You can find it on Amazon. It's probably about $8 on Amazon.
Just go to the library.
Yeah, you can go to the library, whatever. But the premise of the book is just this: getting rid of the things that no longer serve you, and then changing the way that you perceive and everything so that you can live your authentic life. The Four Agreements are being impeccable with your word.
I'm laughing because I'm like, man, if I wrote a book like that, it would be called Bitch Duh.
Yeah. But yeah. And I get it. And it is so much common sense.
Remember that book? No, be like, bitch duh. Like,
are you going?
Actually, there's a book called Unfuck Yourself.
I have it.
Yeah.
I have it.
But
it's so good.
It's right along those same lines.
Okay.
It is absolutely right along the same lines. And Unfuck Yourself is also a very good book.
I've referred people to Unfuck Yourself quite a bit, and it's I don't even think I have my copy anymore because I think I got jacked for it. But
that's another book. It's right along those things, and like the Four Agreements, being impeccable with your word, like internally and externally. Right. What you say to people, but also what you say to yourself.
Yes.
So that everything you speak is truth. Second is not to take things personally, because other people's bullshit isn't always your bullshit.
Remember the projection.
That's
even if they bring your name into it, it's usually not about you. It's their shit.
Yeah.
But they better keep it out of their mouths.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Mark.
The third agreement.
I was like,
the third agreement is
please
don't make
know.
assumptions.
Right.
Because we all do, and assumptions usually lead us down a hard path. And then the fourth agreement is doing your best in everything.
Yeah. But talk about assumptions though, even like with mindset, like even if you think somebody, even if you send a text or email, somebody doesn't respond and then you assume some shit, like your mind, it starts with one small thought and then that shit goes, and then like even with clients, I tell them like, how did we get there? How did that happen? Because you have no truth, no facts, or even myself. There's times I have been like, oh, okay.
We on that right now.
Like, okay. And then it's like, I swear say that.
your mind can be like the biggest monster you. I swear, like my embodiment of mine is like Nicki Minaj's Roman, like when she's just that's mine.
That's your mind.
And it's
your mind
like,
fuck.
Well, and I mean,
Roman, stop. You know what I mean? Like I got it.
And that's the thing is like because we make a lot of assumptions, and we have this piece of information. And this piece of information.
Yeah.
And there's a vast distance in between. And when we let our mind go with it.
Listen.
The story we tell.
Bitches on the highway.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my way. Move, bitch.
You said like 3 songs in one right now. I don't know. I know somebody caught that too. I was like,
I had caught that.
And at least one of them was from the deep. So.
Yeah. But I mean, and that's ACL. Where being able to like slow yourself down and get yourself out of those loops.
Yeah.
Changes a lot of things because you don't know what's in between here and here. You just know this.
Yeah.
And making assumptions or telling these stories and going down these rabbit holes kind of keeps you in these cycles. in
Yeah.
life that make it difficult to change, you know?
Right.
What about the ones that like do it for a little while, but then it's too painful, and then they go back to like the routine again?
Yeah.
Like that's
So if it's a client, I look at working with their resilience, their grit,
yeah.
Okay.
because, you know, change is hard. And goddamn, if you don't have to be willing to be persistent and keep going even when you don't want to,
Yeah.
because it isn't going to come easy. It isn't going to feel great. It's pain.
Yeah.
Oh.
And if you can't endure pain, you're not going to be able to make it through whatever change you're trying to make because it's going to be painful.
And sometimes it might not even be as painful as you thought it
Well,
is.
right.
You know?
Most change is not going to be as painful.
Yeah, but some is.
Some
yeah,
is.
absolutely.
See,
Painful
you-
as fuck.
See,
But
listen,
see,
you guys, what you guys sound like right now is telling a little kid they're about to get a shot. Oh, you're
Right.
not going to even feel it. You're not going to even feel it. It's good. And the other one's like, nah, but you don't feel it.
You see the size of that motherfucking
you
needle?
gonna
yeah,
feel it.
that's
And,
me.
like, hearing you guys right
Massaging
now,
it.
I'm like,
it's me massaging it. No,
I don't
you'll be
believe
fine.
either.
You're
Yes.
right. We're like, come on, Casey.
and then somebody's inner child like, nope,
right.
Yeah.
I got
You
that done to me. Yeah. I got your
But
number.
clients, I'm always like more of how long we, and not in this way of how long we gonna do this shit, but just pulling
Yeah.
it out of like, okay, remember
that
we're
to a
still
client.
here. We're still here. And so how long do you want to still be here? You know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so just realize that at some point you got to pivot. If you really want to get here, you're going to have to pivot. If not, then we're just going to keep being in the feet. It's just going to be in a loop. It's going to be what it is. Yeah.
That's no. I feel like that's like usually like you guys' kind of clients.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, the clients though
So we
that
have
you
different
work with, the change
populations.
of that mindset is a different set of it's a different set of problems that they're dealing with.
Absolutely.
No, for
right?
sure.
Yeah.
It's just-
Environmental.
Oh, that's draining.
It is.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's draining on both ends.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and working with the population you work with, a lot of that change initially is even focused on getting their basic needs met.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't even have those met, you can't even progress
Exactly.
into
Yeah.
any of
Your
any
hierarchy
of
of
the
needs.
higher functioning stuff because and I tell a lot of my interns this as they're new in the field if they're working in community mental health and everything because a lot of times they'll be stuck, you know, if they're working with like the homeless population or whatever and they're like we just can't make any change. I'm like, well, what's going on in their lives outside of just therapy?
Right.
You know, because if they're not eating and they're coming to your office hungry,
They're not gonna wanna.
you're not going to make change because they're hungry. They need
Yeah.
food.
Right. And that's not the time to be talking about mindset change
Yeah.
of like,
No.
Yeah, you can't get
Think
into
differently.
you can't
Yeah,
get into
no.
an
So it's
existential
different.
crisis of purpose
yeah.
if all they're focused
Come
on
on,
is
Dr.
I need
Brunner.
food.
Shit.
Get it.
Come on.
So yeah, and it is, and the
TV
struggles
sound
are
like
different.
this is how Casey.
you.
This is how Casey sounds in like the meetings
you.
at work. You gotta get them Maslow hierarchy of needs on son.
right.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It sounds so primal, but it's so true.
yeah,
Yeah.
It is so true.
Yeah, it
if
is.
you can get somebody to like that vulnerable, just again, the feeling comfortable, maybe they can be their authentic self because
Right.
they see somebody talking like them that looks like them. You know what I mean? Same type of shit. It's that relief that you're okay. I'm eating, or I have a roof over my head. I know that somebody's not going to come through a door and kick my ass. You know what I mean? It's a lot. So, okay, go ahead,
I
doctor.
love doctor.
don't be looking at me.
Look, I love the part or two of like providing safety for clients, but they're also friends too. Of like, this is a place that you can be real, that you can be your authentic self. You can tell your fears. That's okay,
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that healing does happen in safe spaces if you have it.
Yeah.
Because then you do feel like, dang, I can change, or I've been carrying this for so long. And now I'm finally free to be able to break free from it because somebody's really listening.
Yep.
Like, man, it's life changing.
Or like non-biased, or you know that
Exactly.
they don't have like a horse in the race, so they're just
Right.
Let me just
Right.
like hear you out.
Right.
Yeah.
So, being in the field, what do you guys think when it comes to like mindset change and all that? There are some things that I know myself, I believe some therapists overuse in trying to get people to change their mindsets. And I'm curious what you guys think is overused. And by other therapists or by other professionals in the field.
So when you say field, you say in therapy or dancing?
Mental health.
Like, what is my other
Mental
what's
professions?
overuse as in what?
It's like used as a cure-all for everything. Oh, if you just do this, everything else will line up, blah, 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 blah.
That magic pill again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I swear it's going to be meditation. And I know people like.
Okay. No, and I would agree. That is one of them that's on my
mine.
list.
I
I'm
just-
gonna probably have to go with that
That's
one
one
too.
of them that is on my list,
or
too.
just do some deep breathing, and I think in a moment to
Yeah.
kind of calm you down. All these things are great, but it's not an immediate.
It doesn't fix everything.
Right.
Okay, so meditation, and I would agree with
Yeah.
that wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Good
because
one.
therapists will say, "Well, have you practiced meditation?" And it's like, who the fuck is an expert on meditation in reality? Okay,
And some people can't even sit. Or you think I'm gonna meditate for 30 minutes?
That's
but I mean,
and bitch, I'm still hungry.
That's me.
Yeah.
Go ahead and close your eyes. For what? Like,
but I mean that's the whole thing. Is like, I think of, if you think of meditation. If I'm looking at an expert, you better be a Tibetan monk that's done this his whole life.
bro, and you better not speak to me then neither.
Well, and the thing is, they don't think they're experts on meditation. And if they've been doing this their whole life and they're still not experts, how am I expecting you, who's just been introduced this idea,
Yeah.
this is just going to magically fix everything? Fuck you. Meditation is hard.
Yeah.
And it don't work for everyone. Let's just
And
be
it
clear.
doesn't.
It's not a
It
umbrella
doesn't.
approach. And then
I don't
sometimes
even think it genuinely works for 3% of the people that do it.
sometimes
You know,
I would.
sometimes
there are people that will say it works
yeah.
because they think that's what they're supposed to say.
Oh, man,
And
you
shit.
should- I struck gold with Mark right
Yeah.
now.
But
Yes.
You said that and opened the door. Okay.
yeah, I know. And I know there are therapists that may listen to this and get all butthurt, and I don't give a fuck because I've said this to
Come
their
on,
face.
Sid. We just
Ooh.
You know, but meditation is over fucking used.
Come on, Cat Williams.
Oh, Cat Williams. I've been loving Cat Williams, like, but it's
I
overused.
couldn't wait. Casey just threw the Casey
Yeah.
came with the shit.
Shannon Sharp having ass.
Right. Yeah. Meditation. Mercer, let me tell you something. Meditate
Let me
on
tell you
these
about
nuts.
fucking meditation. You dumb son of a bitch.
Meditate on these nuts. Like, where did that come from?
That type of meditation is always okay.
Hum on my balls. Like, I was like, what?
Oh, best episode ever.
Wow. Shamika opened a whole new door of
But that's
meditation
what it
right
was,
there.
though. This Cat Williams over here just calling out all
wait,
of them.
what?
But I
all of them.
I honestly
Told them
think
to their fucking face.
He
I do.
listed all therapists. Went down psychology day. Fuck you.
but I mean it is. It's
Your hair
something
ain't
that
real.
And the click you claim.
it is something that is
Your
fucking
degree is
overused.
fake.
No, you know, I will agree with that because I even think though too is that when you're doing an assessment with somebody and you're getting to know them, there's a vibe there if you know that they're going to be down for some shit like that.
Yeah.
But then I think sometimes people are so
Yeah.
obtuse
Oh,
to
yeah.
their actual client that they don't give a fuck. Oh no, we're going to do it my way.
Yeah.
And like we're going to
Yeah.
go ahead
Yeah.
and do this shit.
Stuck in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about gratitude?
Are
Fire
you being
away.
for real right now?
Yeah.
Listen,
What a good way to start the year.
what about gratitude?
What about it, Dr. Mark?
Oh, we'll
no,
get to me.
like, no, no. Again, here's the thing: I walk around
Oh,
all
God.
day feeling #blessed because
No
of-
lie.
you know what I mean. But
Okay, so fine.
yeah, but who am I? Who am I to dictate to Shamika like
Right.
what you have is good, and you need to be thankful for that.
Right.
And it's like, bitch, maybe it's not. Like, it's terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
What-
It's causing me pain, and yet, thank you. And however, because think about their perspective when they first come in, and then, so okay, now you hit me with gratitude.
See, y'all, now you done got Snoop hype because you done said that.
What's your opinion about
Oh
that?
God. blessed all day for sure. But I think there's a difference because there's a thing as gratitude fatigue. And I think that when you're going through some shit and people immediately be like, be grateful for what you have. Like, that's not what I'm saying. You know, like I am fucking grateful. I'm just saying I'm ready for some change, you know?
And you can
I think
have
it's
both.
dismissive. Yeah. And I think it's dismissive to be like, no, I had a friend like that. I remember, bitch, no. I was like, no, you know, like in this moment right now, no, this is what I'm feeling. So I think gratitude fatigue can be real because if you just saying just be grateful and just do that. Like, no, like that's dismissive of your real feelings. You're not really healing truly on the inside.
It's invalidating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
Again, I 100% agree because nothing chaps my ass more.
Not the eyes are shut for like
So
5 minutes.
nothing chaps my ass more than like when somebody comes in and, you know, they're talking about, you know, like one of my interns and their clients going through whatever. And they're like, well, you know, and I had them do a gratitude journal. And I'm like, listen, having gratitude for things is great, but it doesn't apply to everything and it doesn't fucking fix a goddamn thing.
And you better know when to use it. You can't be like...
Now, if the person comes in and they are living a blessed life and everything is perfect and they're just not seeing it, perfect. Let's talk about gratitude. Most of the time, that is not what's fucking going on.
I was going to say, because continue. Like, how do we even know?
How do we even know that what they're telling us is true?
Well, but then how do we know what they're viewing is, you know what I mean, is blissful?
Right.
Like what I may view as like, oh, this is great.
And
the next person may be like, yeah, no.
Yeah, but that's my thing too. By us telling them that they should be grateful, that's putting our shit onto them.
Yeah. Agreed.
And that's not what we are there for.
Okay.
And fucking gratitude does not
you better
fix
put that
everything.
Fucking finger down first
that's
of all.
You know.
I was pointing away from
He
you.
really got serious.
Yeah, but
The dad came out.
people
You
use
better fucking...
people use this shit as if it fixes things, and it doesn't. It really doesn't. You know, there are very few people I see benefit in saying, okay, well, you need a gratitude journal or you need to find things that you're grateful for, that has any pertinence to what is actually going on. Because anybody coming into my office, doesn't matter what their life is outside. Like, they're dealing with real shit.
Yeah. Wait, what
That's
else?
everyone.
Yeah. What else do you have on your list? How many did you have?
A few.
Oh, no.
Let's
See.
And
go
so
through one more.
anybody-
I want to hear one more because
Mindfulness.
Oh, goddamn.
Fire away.
I think it's a time and place for the gratitude thing, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that. I'll just
I
leave
agree.
it there.
I agree.
It's a time and place. But Mark came with some shit today. So can you just give a quick synopsis of mindfulness so people do know?
So mindfulness
As
at the
Casey
root of it
closed
is
our eyes.
just being more present in the moment and not getting off into the future or the past. Great. But people over fucking use mindfulness. Therapists do this. And if you're like, I don't do it, the fuck you don't.
You do. There's all kind of
you do.
worksheets.
Yeah. And yeah, you know, there is a time and place for it, but this isn't the cure-all for fucking everything.
Right.
It's not.
Casey, I don't even want to look at her no more.
because these are good ones, and these are like for those therapists. It's just wild because there's some people that have built practices off of fucking mindfulness.
Absolutely.
And I feel it's
That's
like
true. That's true.
somebody's selling me these fake
Sheila
They're
fucking
with the
snake oil
stones.
salesmen.
Sheila with the stones.
Yeah, like, okay, this is
Yeah.
what it's going to be like. I don't need anybody to help me be in the moment, bitch. I'm broke.
Right.
I'm living in that
Right.
moment.
Right.
You know what I
Bitch,
mean?
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I don't have a place to stay. Like, this is not a let's get here mentally and envision what housing looks. No.
Yeah.
I know what it looks like.
Rich, I want it.
Yeah, why don't you close your address? Okay, it's good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's another one? Now let's just go through these because now I'm mad. What's the next
Look
one?
what you did.
It's almost as if I did that intentionally.
What's
Emotional intelligence.
I haven't heard too many people use that one.
How late were you up doing this shit? Because you really,
No,
you really got on
not too
it.
late. But I hear a lot of therapists
What is that?
being more aware of both your emotions and
Yeah.
more accurate in describing them, and being aware of other people's emotions and whatever. And like, again, while there's a place for everything, it's over fucking used.
Let me say this, because I don't hear a lot of therapists using it. I hear people that don't know what they're talking about.
that too.
The
Life
Instagram
coaches.
expert. Yeah, like you need to have emotional, it's those people that use that word and abuse it. You know,
yeah.
of like
Those people.
oh shit.
Which people you talking about?
Right. Let me, oh Lord.
We didn't let him put
Let me meditate.
Malcolm Mimi has arrived.
Let me meditate.
No, that shit. Again, I don't.
Yeah.
Half the maybe not half, a good portion of clients know exactly what they're feeling, but like they're not going to admit it. You know what I mean? And I can tell from experience that I do that shit every day. Yeah, I'm angry, but you're not going to know it.
But then you know that these emotions are natural. So when you go on a high horse and be like emotional intelligence, it makes it feel like you're superior to other people too.
And
I mastered my emotions.
It's invalidating.
Yeah.
It's absolutely invalidating.
Yes.
You know, when my clients are angry, I'm like, you're allowed to be angry if that's how you feel.
Absolutely.
It's a feeling.
Just what you gonna do with it.
Yeah.
That was, you know what? That was my New Year's resolution to Spoonie out there.
What was it?
I'll stop beating you, Spoonie.
No, I would
With the
tell him.
Spoonie.
I would tell him in the moment when I was upset with him, and not say anything or ignore him
text you
or
on that one.
do anything, whatever. Because I know what I'm doing.
Where's your EI?
Yeah. So that was my people.
You're not
people
going to do
know
that.
it.
I'm fine.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say.
And ladies,
Or just shut down.
just so you know,
Yeah,
when
here
you
we go.
say that,
Here we go.
guys are dumb.
Here we go.
And so they hear I'm fine. They're like, oh, okay, she's good. And then they go back to doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
So when you come back and it's not fine,
And I'd be like, I find it funny that.
that's why it's so confusing.
I just think that.
Right. And then it go down the rabbit.
Yeah.
Right.
What's another one? Fuck.
Why did you do this?
Yeah. What's another one? It's almost like flipping a card. And
Right.
So
I cannot.
why I did this, as I was going through this stuff, I'm looking at this and like all these life coach things or these, you've got to practice mindfulness or blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And it's like, fuck, this doesn't, granted, there's a place for it, but it does not help people all the time the way it's presented.
wait, do you have another one? It's almost like EMDR.
Right.
Well, and even with EMDR, it does help for things, but it doesn't fix everything.
For sure.
No, that's facts. That's facts.
You know,
it has
and I do
benefits,
EMDR.
though.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
You
for
know,
sure.
and-
It has its time and its place, which
Yeah.
I guess evidently every time I went to therapy, that was the time and place every
Yeah.
single
The trauma
time.
be gone.
Yeah, it really is. But did it fix everything? No. Like
Yeah.
it's,
No.
Yeah.
but it opened my eyes.
You
So-
got one more.
I have
For
one more.
sis,
Say
'cause
it.
she
And
on fire.
this one may not.
What is it?
So one of the things that I think is overused,
Okay.
and granted, it's important,
What is it?
but it doesn't fix everything.
Okay.
Cultivating self-confidence, because
Okay.
it doesn't fix everything. It's
Okay.
important. And this is one that I probably wasn't necessarily going to talk, but Casey wanted one more. But it's like, yeah, we have to work with our clients to build up a sense of self and to build those things, but that's a journey. We only give them a basic roadmap of maybe you want to look in these directions, but they got to want to do it. We can't fix it with self-confidence. And their lives aren't going to be fixed just because they walk in like they're the biggest dick in the room, you know, because
Almost sis. Okay.
I mean, it's not always going to be, it's not going to fix anything. They may feel better about some things and they may have some more resilience, but it's not a fix all for things.
Right.
And I think it's presented in that way to people, and that's not really fair to them,
Yeah.
you know, because self-confidence is important. But if you're hungry, you know, if you're living on the streets, that ain't going to fix shit. Self-confidence ain't going to give you a house. You know, and it's overused by therapists. Like, no, you're missing the point of what's going on with people. And what are your thoughts?
I don't think that one definitely, I don't think I've heard being used where it's just like a blanketed thing, because then I almost think like I would reframe that to be the authenticity part again.
Yeah.
Of like, you know what I mean? So
Some more
Yeah.
therapeutic words.
yeah.
Well, I would agree. You
you know
have
what I'm
more.
saying?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have more
Yeah.
self-confidence
Right.
when you are closer to being authentically you
Yeah.
and everything. And
Facts.
how you get there is a journey that is not straight and linear.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't fix everything going up, leading up to that.
Yeah.
And again, I think this one isn't presented as much as like mindfulness, because mindfulness is a horse that's been beat to death. So is meditation. So is,
That was Family Feud. I would have got the top answer.
you would,
You
yeah.
would have.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
would have.
This would have been answer
We would
number
have got
5.
a car.
No, that would have been number 2 for sure.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, this
confidence.
yeah,
Yeah,
got it, yeah.
This would have been way down the list.
Yeah.
So
10 people.
with that, how do people change their mindset? What do you think is one of the more important factors?
Go ahead, Casey.
I think I know what most attribute it to. I don't necessarily agree with it, but watching people go through, like if they are in the same situation as each other, watching somebody go through to get like healthy enough, to get stable, to get a job, to get someplace to stay. It's like they base it off of somebody else. And I low-key hate that. But it's the very primal, like, you know what I mean, watch and learn type of stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But that's my population that I'm dealing with. People that are still under influences of whatever, and they're still trying to like, there's some still trying to make it out and do that at the same time. So it's, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. What about you?
I think my mantra for this year is fuck that shit. And so I think when you talk about mindset change, start thinking about it of like, fuck that shit. Of where did that come from? We're not going to do that. And we're going to do what's best for us. And if something doesn't work, fuck that shit. Go ahead, do what you need to do, get it done. But again, it's about you believing that you can do whatever you want. But the negative thoughts, you have to say, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
That's me. No, like, fuck that. No, I'm going to get up. I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to rise up. I'm going to put them boots on. And
So resilience.
yeah. But fuck the negative thoughts. Fuck
Yeah.
what people saying. All of that. Like, do what you got to do. But you have to believe. It starts there.
Yeah.
It's your belief system. Do you believe you can be the shit? Do you believe you can have this? Do you believe you can do that? And then put in the work. But first you got to believe that it's yours. That's me. That's what I've been like.
Yeah.
On some belief shit.
Yeah.
Please believe it.
And I
believe
think
it.
for me, a lot of what you guys said rings true with what I work with my clients. And the only other thing I think I would add would be that you're going to have, there's going to be failure. Things are not always going to work out, and that's okay. You learn from those things so that you can adapt and adjust. You got to be resilient. You got to be willing to get back up.
And rejection is redirection. Like,
Yeah.
understand that too. Sorry, I just had
No,
to.
for
all
sure.
right.
No, because that's
Now,
right
sure, calm
along.
down.
That's
Let
right
me-
along the lines. I tell
Okay.
my clients rejection is not a terrible thing. You know,
Listen,
clients
it could
that
be
are
something
struggling in
greater.
the dating world, I'm like, if they reject you right off the bat, they're not wasting your time anymore, and you don't have to waste theirs. Move on.
Yeah.
It's not really about you. You're not a good fit for them. That's
For
a them
agreements.
issue. Yeah,
Inner shit.
but
Let me sit back.
yeah,
Okay,
and
go ahead.
that's exactly where it came from. It's like rejection is not a terrible thing. It's saving you time. Better to find out off right away than 10 years down the road where you tried to force everything and you were miserable.
Yeah. I try to explain it to some clients as like, this is the Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Like, A New Hope was good.
Yeah.
And the good guys won, and then in Empire, the bad guys won. And it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There
So
is no
good.
like, I can't feel sad about it. They
Yeah.
got old boy in kryptonite now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Princess is stolen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're Lando Calrissian's getting freaking extorted.
Yeah.
Boy, not coming on my nerd shit.
Listen, you just went.
Yeah, I went off on a tangent. But it's, you know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah. The only
So
person
that-
that got what they wanted in that movie was Boba Fett.
yeah, Invader.
Even he really didn't get what he wanted
I mean,
because Luke got away.
This
Okay.
is true.
Will it
This
back.
is true. Okay. So, but with that being said, it's just, and then some people, regardless if they like it or not, like it's, they can just accept it
Yeah.
and just move forward. That's the
Yeah.
the growth or the,
And that
yeah.
is, because when you can accept that it didn't work out the way you thought it was going to, you can adapt. And if it's worth continuing, you can keep going. And, one of the wisest people I know a while back had said, just do it afraid.
Huh?
Well,
and
and you gotta be willing to do it afraid.
Woo. Mm,
Is that you that said
it
that?
Yeah.
was.
On the
Damn,
show.
full circle.
Dang.
The Fear of Success, episode 1.
Wow.
It's not Shamika's A New Hope now.
But I mean that's the whole thing is you're gonna be
New hope.
fearful. How you foster that
Oh,
change
that
in your
was good.
mindset is just being willing to do it afraid
That was
Yeah.
so
instead of letting the fear
good.
keep you from doing
New
it.
Hope,
Fuck.
Empire Strikes Back,
Ah.
Return of the Jedi as a doctor. Yep.
Fair enough.
Damn, that was good.
Cool. So
So
Don't take us out, Casey, because that was so good.
So before we go out, just thank you to everybody who's been listening. We got one more episode this season.
The finale.
The season finale. And then we'll pick up again sometime after we recoup,
Sometime.
recompile any thoughts on topics and everything. Feel free to email us at theprofessorspodcast@yahoo.com.
Thank you to BetterHelp.
Thank you to BetterHelp.
Sponsors.
And everything. Shout outs to all the people who've been supporting us. Our episodes keep getting more and more traction and everything. And so thank you to everybody that's been
Daphne
listening.
here. All right, Case.
Take us out.
you better not
Bet.
fuck with my money or fuck with my D.
Boom.